Man, I was just pondering on some things because I'm listening to Dane Calloway while I'm making my nut cream, and I've been up early since early this morning. I woke up around 4 and looking at the moon and the star, and now the sun is coming up slowly, but like I'm gonna try to get another picture. I took some video of the moon and the star. I'm gonna try to get another couple of pictures and maybe a video in a little bit. I just put my phone on the charger though. But anyway, so I'm listening to Dane Calloway. Dude makes a lot of sense, man. The name of the video is "The First Africans Were White People That Migrated to the Americas in the Early 1600s." Now, that's interesting to me because in my studies, in my research, I've come to find that much of the history that we have been labeled with, like the history that they teach about so-called black people, is actually white people's history. Okay? Like, and the history that white people tell about themselves is actually our true history. So it's like they basically erased everything about us, who we were as a people, and swapped it with their history. They literally swapped our histories, bro. Like, this is so crazy, man. So they want to claim that all black people came from Africa. Like, nobody was in the Americas until Christopher Columbus discovered it, though there were already people here. And the people that they claim were already here were mongoloid looking mixed people. Though in really old records, before it was tampered with, we can read in black and white the descriptions of the people that were on these lands when explorers came. Okay? So in these books, it states that there were black people here on these lands in the Americas. So where do you get that we all come from Africa? So yes, this video by Dane Calloway is hella interesting. And as I'm listening to it, there's all these connections made with the scripture. You know, on man, so much that I just can't just like. I mean, it coincides with Psalms 83. You know, to hide who we are. They replaced us, bro. They replaced us and gave us their history. Okay? You know how they called us the seed of Canaan? They called us the seed of Canaan. Okay? And they put out papal bulls. Alright? Papal bulls were sent out stating that they could round up so-called Negroes. Okay? So-called Negroes round us all up and put us into perpetual slavery. Okay? It states this in the papal bulls. Put them in perpetual slavery. Okay? Well, what does the scripture say about Canaan? Wasn't Canaan cursed to be a perpetual slave to his brothers? Now, we do not descend from Ham. We are Shemites. So could it be that these pale-skinned people are Canaan? Could it be that they're the perpetual servants? They're the perpetual slaves? Could it be that they're the ones with the curse on them to be the slaves? But yet, they swapped their history and their lives with ours. And they sold it to the world. So we become the tail and they become the head at false pretenses. Okay? Because of false pretenses. Manipulators, thieves, liars, deceivers. Okay? That's what we've been dealing with during the time of the Gentiles. So, we know that the scripture declares, the European nations are Gentiles. Alright? So that would not make them Hamites. So, I don't know. I'm just thinking, We know that a lot of mixing happened. Okay? I don't necessarily know how pale skin came about, other than the curses. This was the only time skin change as a curse happened in the Bible was the lack of skin pigment. Okay? The lack of melanin. Alright? And you're lying to yourself if you honestly believe that lack of melanin is better, or lack of melanin is original. Okay? You're lying to yourself. And you know damn well you're lying to yourself. You need to slap yourself. Okay? All you pale skinned people that gotta put on sunscreen, look at your skin under a UV light and tell me what you see. You see us is what you see. You see our skin pigment. You see our skin tone. See, you need a synthetic in order to be in the sun. We don't need that because we are the original people. Alright? So smack yourself. Alright? Especially those of you that are high-minded and just, want to run your mouth before thinking. You want to say we're all the same. I really hate that. I can't stand when white people say that to me. So anyway, I'm not gonna make this long. Alright? I just picked up my phone because, like I said, I was taking film of the moon and the star and listening to Dane Calloway. I'm boiling my pecans. So I'm going to make me some pecan cream to go in my coffee. Before I went to sleep last night, I was reading in the sealed portion. And it's about the life of the Messiah, what he came here teaching. They have injected some lies in there. Or then they didn't clarify that what our meat really is. It just said that, the disciples went to go purchase meat from the Samaritan market. This was on their way to Galilee. How he stopped over in Samaria and sat at the well, and Yahusha was witnessing unto a Samaritan woman. Told her about her affairs that she's had, and anyway, so just things run through my head, I just think on things. The Father makes these connections, these really deep connections. I was watching a movie last night. Before I started reading, I watched this movie called Pride, and it was about a inner city black, so-called black swim team. How they weren't well received at all. How the coach, the head coach, the coach of that team, how he went through racism in his teen years. You know, how he was just literally hated just simply because of the color of his skin. Now, white people, what you need to understand, you're so quick to call us racist, okay? But we ain't never hated you because of the color of your skin. If we hate you, it's because of how we've been treated by you, okay? We never just hated somebody just for the sake of hating them, okay? Except for our own people. That's the only people my people hate ourselves, because we were forced to hate ourselves, okay? And it was biblical prophecy that we would hate ourselves and that we would do harm unto one another. So anyway, like I said, I don't want to stay on here.